Hey y'all, I'm Savannah and this is Savannah Says. So I'm here to talk about 5 books that I want to read during Black History Month because obviously I'm Black. No, just kidding. I just want to prioritize reading Black authors this month. Not a lot, but like 5, It's in line with my reading. And these are just 5 books that I've wanted to read for a while or that I just have sitting around that I feel like now is a good time to read them. And I don't really know when I'm gonna make a video about after this. I just wanted to share these because I feel like it's important to give recommendations for authors if you don't really know what's out there to read. And now these are all well-known authors and well-known books, but some of them is my first time reading their work. So it just feels like an appropriate time to talk about this. So yeah, let's get started. The first book that I want to read this month is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Now, I have heard so many people on BookTube talk about this book, and I've always known that name, but I've never read any of her stuff. And Parable of the Sower is speculative dystopian sci-fi, and apparently it's very in line with the Trump era, which is kind of terrifying, but that's also why I want to read it. And it's on my Kindle, so there's really no excuse. And I know it's it was a planned trilogy, but she died before she could write the third one. But apparently the books all end in a way that they can be read kind of as a standalone. You're not missing anything if you don't read the next one. So I have both of those, but I want to read Parable of the Sower because I just want my brain chemistry to be changed. And I feel I just totally believe that this book will do that for me. So Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The second book that I want to read this month is The Last Season by N.K. Jemisin, which if you can see, I'm already halfway, more than halfway. I'm 3/4 of the way through. I'm reading this with my friend, Suvi, and I'm also reading this for my book club at work, which I'm kind of behind on, but the book is good. And it's a sci-fi fantasy about this dystopian world. And it's very hard to explain, but people have these powers and they're able to control physical elements. That's a bad explanation, but they can control the vibrations of the earth. And these people are controlled by the government to maintain the vibrations so that the world doesn't fall into more chaos, essentially, if that makes sense. And so the book, you're following 3 separate plot lines, so 3 different characters, and they all kind of converge at the end. I don't really know how it's gonna end, but my friend said it's good, so I'm excited. And I've only ever heard good things about this entire series. It's been a wild ride. I have enjoyed it. I would say it's more sci-fi dystopian than fantasy, but again, it's a good book, so you're not missing anything if you read this. And if you've read it, let me know in the comments below. Next, we have Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, so another one of her books. This one I think is more horror based, and it's about, wait, is this the vampire one? No, this is the one where the main character wakes up and she's back in slavery times, and she's a slave, and she's what the fuck's going on? And I know that there's recently been a Hulu show that came out, so I kind of want to read this and then watch the show to see how it compares, because I've heard good things about the show, but I've also heard good things about this. So again, I don't know what this is. This wouldn't be fantasy, but it's definitely horror, time travel, history, fiction. I don't know what this is classified as, but I think the premise is kind of freaky, because that would literally be the worst thing ever to experience. I can imagine, to go to sleep in modern day and wake up and you're a fucking slave. Please. So yeah, excited to read this. Next, this one's kind of sacrilegious that I've never read anything by this author, but Toni Morrison, Beloved. I know in high school she was on our reading list, but the book, we used to get reading lists where it was you could pick which one you wanted to read from a long master list, I guess. And the book that was on the list then was The Bluest Eye, and my mom was this book is going to traumatize you, don't read it. So I didn't read it, but I've been told to read Beloved because I just feel it's a good starting point, or I've been told that it's a good starting point into her work. And I don't really know what this is about, but I know that it's kind of paranormal-ish and about race and maybe horror-ish. Again, I don't really know, but I'm excited to read it. It's not that long. I've just heard that she's a master with words, which we all know that I kind of read lowbrow literature, so I'm excited to read something that's kind of highbrow, I guess. So yeah, Beloved. And last, we have My Soul to Keep by Tananarive Due, I think is how you say her name. This book, I don't know anything about, but I know that this author writes horror books, and I want to say this one is vampire-ish. Okay, There's Immortals, which I'm assuming means vampires. Again, not really sure what this is about, but I know that she has so many books like that she's written thus far. And this is just one that I see pop up as like, just, I guess, one of the more popular ones if you're not really into reading that kind of thing. So again, horror, Immortals, which I'm assuming is a vampire, and it should be good. So that is my baby stack of 5 books that I want to read this month during Black History Month. I feel like this is manageable. In January, I read 18 books, so I feel like reading 5 is not that big of a commitment. I can do that. So I will probably maybe do a recap video or a wrap-up video, maybe. I'm not sure yet what I really want to come from this. I just wanted to talk about it because it came to me like late at night and I was like, damn, I should make a video about this and I should promote some books that people may not be reading. So yeah, that's all that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite book by a Black author is so I can make a little list and get to cracking on that. And like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.